Welcome on in, everybody. I'm back again, as always, right? When have you not heard this from me? Anyway, still playing Musket and Rapier, having a great time out here. I know that this isn't the best patch for New World. Well, let's be honest, this is probably the worst patch that New World's ever had. But I'm still out here having fun and trying out different things, and usually when New World has a bad patch, I go into a bit of a build crafting hibernation, where I just try out a bunch of different stuff, start testing a bunch of different crap, just to see exactly what I want to run and how it works. Because, well, you know, sometimes getting those bugs while you're in combat can just be not a great time. Anyway, I've come up with a musket build for you guys. I know you've seen probably a million musket rapier builds, but there are two super huge pieces of change, I guess, that I've made to this build that have had a massive impact on how good it is. So, let's start off by talking about Musket. It is a burst weapon, and as a burst weapon, it benefits from hitting hard, of course. But it really struggles when you're trying to do consistent damage over a period of time. And that's a big reason why, especially me as someone who's played quite a bit of Musket, I felt the need to play very glassy when I play Musket. You need to have enough firepower for that burst to actually be meaningful. Otherwise, you know, you're just not able to seal the kill with that limited amount of burst damage, and you're not going to be able to put that long-term pressure on to make it happen either. So this brings me to talk about the first bit of Musket tech that has absolutely changed Musket for me, and that is refreshing power shot. If you guys haven't seen this skill in, I want to say like 2 or 3 patches ago, it got changed to give you 55% cooldown reduction when you land a hit with power shot. It used to only function or give you that cooldown reduction when you get the kill with it, but thankfully that was changed, and it actually makes the skill not only usable, but an incredibly good skill for PvP. So this is why it's such a big deal. If you land that power shot with the refreshing power shot perk on your weapon, you get that 55% cooldown reduction. If it's a headshot, you get 15% additional cooldown reduction thanks to one of the perks in the power shot skill itself. And that nets you 70% cooldown reduction from landing that power shot. As you guys know, if you put 25 points in focus and go for 4 pieces of refreshing and get that nimble leather coat that gives you 8% additional cooldown reduction, that will give you a total of 29% cooldown reduction, giving you a net total of 99% cooldown reduction on power shot. I don't have the nimble leather coat myself, but I have tested this, and there is literally a 1-second cooldown after a power shot headshot on a setup like that. And if you had the coat, it would be, I don't know, 100th of a second or 100 milliseconds or something. It would be very, very short cooldown, and you would be able to do a power shot into the dodge roll followed up by a power shot. Oh my god. So for glass cannon muskets out there, that's kind of terrifying to know about because you might get hit by a double power shot in the near future. Yeah, nobody loves to hear that. But this is the kind of nice thing about it and why I like that the skill functions this way, but am a little bit worried when it comes to glass cannon. It allows Musket to have that burst on a build that isn't glass cannon. If you land a power shot into the powder burn and then you're able to follow that up with another power shot, you have so much more burst damage than if you were just trying to hit a regular shot after that. And this makes a huge difference. This gives a 150 con musket the burst damage that a 50 con musket would have because you can land the 2 power shots. So yeah, this is revolutionary because it allows you to play a much lower damage musket and still be very threatening with it. Of course, at the end of this video, I'll give you guys a quick peek at the build that I'm running. The actual gear that I'm running is a little bit different in the video than what I'm showing you because I am slowly making upgrades to it. So yeah, let's talk about that second piece of tech that has absolutely changed Musket for me. Now, this is big not only for Musket. I think this is big for all weapons in PvP to know about this particular thing in the game. And it's Healing Breeze on your ring. This perk, if you guys aren't familiar with, when you heal something, you will now heal them for 20% weapon damage every second for 6 seconds, which gives you a total of 7 ticks of 20% weapon damage heal. Now, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Musket by far has the highest base weapon damage in the game compared to any other weapon. So a heal like this being procced with your musket out is significantly stronger than if you don't have a musket and are using literally any other weapon. Now, the reason that I think people have maybe stayed away from this perk is because it seems kind of like a healer's perk. Like, you're not going to be able to proc it on yourself, you're going to have to heal somebody else to use it. That's not the truth. Any heal that targets something as a heal or is procced as an outgoing heal, even if it targets you, will proc the Healing Breeze heal. So you can use something like Shirking Heals or even the Tumbler Boots, and you can proc Healing Breeze. I like the Tumbler Boots in particular, as I mentioned, because they only have a 1 second cooldown on the heal. So you will be proccing Healing Breeze basically whenever you can when it's off cooldown. And you can use the Tumbler Boots in PvE as well, so it gives this kind of a heal application outside of PvP too. But the amount of healing that Healing Breeze gives, that's really the big thing. If you've been watching the gameplay, you can see on this build, I am healing over 400 health per second, times by 7 for the 7 ticks. That is, what, almost 3,000 health? That's 2,800 health in 7 seconds. So, yeah, it doesn't take a lot of math to show you that that's basically giving you the same amount of healing that 5 pieces of Shirking Heals would give. Is this too overpowered? I don't know. I think with Musket in particular, it feels so good because Musket has crazy high weapon damage. Even if you're playing higher con, Musket still has really high base weapon damage. So you can get a really good heal from it. But, you know, the big argument against healing for PvP is that there's too much healing in PvP. I really like Healing Breeze in particular because it adds more healing options to a build that is not a healer. In my opinion, I would say nerf Life Staff and allow more people to proc heals from stuff like Healing Breeze. Give the healing to individual builds that they don't have right now and take it away from Life Staff instead of nerfing something like Healing Breeze. And, you know, Healing Breeze itself doesn't even need a nerf. If you look at ring perks and you compare them to perks on gear, if we look at something like nature damage, you get 7.1% nature damage on the ring versus 2% nature damage on your gear for each harnessing that you have. So in total, that ring perk is worth over 3.5 times gear perks. So is Healing Breeze worth more than 3.5 times Shirking Heals? I think for a non-Musket build, it actually falls kind of in that area. But because Musket build has that crazy high weapon damage, well, you know the end of that story. So there you go, guys. Here's a quick look at the build. If you guys want to see what I'm actually running and see for yourself, yeah, this is cool. This is really cool. This build is very strong. I will make a proper build video for it very soon for you guys. I have some more footage I can't wait to share of even better fights than this, but this fight showed a ton of the healing and tanking. Anyways, all this stuff going across your screen. I've been streaming on Twitch again, so if you want to catch that live gameplay, hope to see you again tomorrow, or today, or whenever. But have a good one, guys. A big thank you to all of my patrons on Patreon, and of course, ExpressVPN for sponsoring the show. And I'll see you guys next time.